Hey guys, Sky here, and this. Oops, the other way around. This is a Kowloon HyperVan from Mattel Hot Wheels.
The infamous Kowloon minibus is what inspired this beautiful Kowloon HyperVan. There are technically two variants of the minibus, the green variant inspiring this beautiful model, and another red variant, both operating to ferry passengers to places covering the entire Hong Kong. The signature of the minibus is its size, featuring typically 16 seatings, but the minibus can also be large enough to ferry 19 passengers. As of 2014, there are a total of 4,350 public minibuses, of which 3,150 of those were the green variant.
Kicking things off with the interior shot, one interesting thing that I wanted to highlight is the fact that there is a bus driver here on the driver's side. So as you can see, that glob there is the head, and then there's also molded bodies and hand of the bus driver on the driver's side. And of course, that big dish thing there is the steering wheel. So that's really, really neat. I mean, this is the only Hot Wheels model I've seen that features, well, a driver in it. I mean, even the open top models like the MX-5 or the Chevrolet Corvette doesn't really have a driver molded into the interior. So this is definitely a nice touch. And if you look at, well, if you skip ahead into the detailed view segment, you will see up top here it says 16 seats, and I've counted the number of seats inside the bus, and it indeed translates to 16 if that's, a fact that you want to know. So that's also a nice touch. And we can see some details here in the form of the steps to get into the bus, on the door side. And other than that, it's pretty much, yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, the seats within the bus, they seem like a bucket, or at least a half bucket seat. So that's, it's not your conventional run of the mill bus with the bus benches, but yeah, it's all right. What's not great is the green bit here that you can see. So actually, if we turn down, this correlates to the riveting points on the model. So there is one in the front and there's sort of one in the rear. That's not great. But the fact that it's there, it's to support the roof, so it's forgivable. It ruins the immersion a little bit, I believe you know by now. And what's, well, a little disappointing is there's no rear view mirror in the windscreen. I mean, you even molded the side mirrors on the left and the right. Why don't you just add the molding for the rear view mirror on the windscreen as well? That would just, elevate the interior a fair bit. As of now, it's a bit bland because the seat color is the same shade of beige brownish as per the outside paint, and yeah, it's looking plain in terms of color, but definitely not lacking in details. Moving on to the detailed view segment, we can see that the entire design of the video is extremely reminiscent of the Kowloon bus design. I mean, there is a contrasting green roof with the beige-ish brown body. That's the similarity number one. Similarity number two, we can see on top of the bus, the roof of the bus, we can see there's the bit here where, information about the bus number or the route information are displayed. So that's also largely taken from the actual Kowloon bus designs. And if we look at on the, just above the front bumper, the narrow strip that contains, well, the headlights, yeah, that is also inspired by the Kowloon bus design. So they've done an extremely great job of integrating these defining features on the actual Kowloon bus, and they slap it on a model that has all these aggressive features, which we'll look at. On the side profile, we have a very extreme, very aggressive side wheel arches that merge right into the air intake for the tires, and then we have more of that aggressive wheel arch at the back. And if we look at, near the end of the rear side, we can see some flaps, very aggressive aerodynamic flaps that look like they could make the bus go, well, 200-300 kilometers an hour, I suppose. The decal is a very, very beautiful decal. It's got some different shades of green that's not the same as the roof green, but it provided a very, very beautiful contrast against the beige-ish brown body color. And of course, it says Kowloon HyperVan with the caricature here and a thumbs up. I especially like the rugged look at the rear, the whatever this is, the aerodynamic flap. There's what appears to be rivets or screw holes on the rear that looks very, very aggressive. Now that we're here on the side, we can see that there's mismatched rim design. The front looked like a rally inspired rim with the cover, and the rear is slightly deep dish. It's very sporty in that sense. Moving on to the roof, this is a very beautiful shade of green. It doesn't have metallic flakes in it, but it's very, very clean. It's very beautiful. It's pretty accurate to the image of the Kowloon bus. And there are some white decals here, some asymmetrical white stripes, and there are some names on the top. And if you look at on the side, it says private light bus, 16 seats. The rear portion is also nice looking, albeit plain in terms of color. There's a license plate holder here without any decals. There's exhaust tips to the left and right of the license plate holder. There's a tail light detail here. Again, there's no decals here. But there is a very, very beautifully molded door at the back. This would be your emergency door on buses. And if we zoom in, you will see that the detail even included a door handle for the emergency door at the rear. So all in all, I really, really liked this particular model. As I've mentioned in the previous segment, the moment I saw this model in my local Aeon supermarket, I immediately purchased it because the color scheme on this thing is just stunning. It's beautiful. Yeah, it matches the actual Kowloon bus very rather accurately. Now, I know that they produce the same model with a different red and I believe a black roof, or perhaps it's the other way around. But I feel like this is so much prettier. The Kowloon bus color scheme fits this particular one very, very much. And the Hot Wheels design team here really, really went aggressively on the rear end in particular, with all the aerodynamic bits and pieces. And well, on the front we see a little bit, but the rear end is just where all those details are, and I feel like this is a very, very handsome, very neat looking model. In any case, this has been Sky from HWF. And until we meet again, bye bye for now.